Okay, so instead of actually buying the tool, which if you buy the metric and the AF tool, so I think the metric was after 76, and before that it was an AF, a half-inch AF, I believe. Obviously these are metric. This is a 14, an M14. The thread doesn't feel absolutely great on it, but it must be a 14 thread. So because they're brand new, what I've done is I've just bought a piece of rod, piece of threaded bar, and I bought four nuts for it. Now what I could have done was just taken this nut and welded it on the top so I can hold it and tighten this one down. So basically I've already got it at the right height, but I can hold it there and I can just tighten this. I can just tighten this up, but I've got it in the right position now anyway. So it's compressing that cone. The reason it's sticking up so far, you might wonder why, but I've actually measured it, not off the original tool, but it's around about 30 centimeters above this. And the reason for that is there's a 10 centimeter depth of the bulkhead, the box section, and then the wing itself. Just in case you wanted to keep it away from the wing, you didn't want to, if you put your hand down too low, you're probably not going to get it. So this will work in this situation where the subframe is out, and also work if the subframe's in the car and you're just changing the cones. This shouldn't need to do that now. This should be good for life once these are changed out. So what I'm going to do next is I've now compressed it enough. It is possible to get these in with even brand new ones without compressing it. It's just a bit fiddly, that's the only problem, and you need to hold things up. So I'm just making it a little bit easier for myself. Now, as I said, it's £51 for both threads, and I think 32 pounds for just the metric. But a piece of bar like that and two nuts is, you know, €3, €6, something like that. It's not even that. So obviously this is a better, easier way to do it. The only reason the tool costs so much is because you've got a Tommy bar, and you can hold the Tommy bar while you turn it, while you turn the nut. That's the only difference. You've got a sleeve and an outer, but you can make the tool. Simple. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this together down the bottom here, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing, and you can see how far that the cone is pulled up. Obviously, when you're taking these apart, it's not a problem because normally the cone is already compressed so much that it's already out of shape. Anyway, I'll show you how I'm going to put it together. Yeah, so there's the nylon cup or the plastic cup that goes into here. So try and get it as clean as you can, because the easier it slides in, because what you want to do, obviously with this one's an old one, but once you've got this cover on it, you want to be putting them in like this and then just tapping the end down, bang, straight in. But what you don't want to be doing is ripping the side of this plastic or the side of this nylon. They should be as clean as you can get them inside. Get all the rust and crud and everything out, so not too much, don't overdo it, but so they can slide in reasonably easy. And there is a hole in the bottom of these, and you can see it just there. So if you have to use grease, it has a place to come out, you know, to get it going. But to be honest, you can put them in dry, apart from the inside where the ball is. That's pre-greased, or it should be greased already. So, but all the weight sits on them anyway, like that. So yeah, but just make sure they're really nice and clean. Same with here, just check everything's clean inside. I've put wire wheel through everything, so I know that the bushings are going in nice and square and they're not getting ripped or tight. And that's really all there is to it. Really not a lot. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you do it in a set order, you'll not have any problems, and things will work out good. Okay, so I've got the cone compressed. What I'm going to do now is put this in. I've already cleaned all this out. I'll show you later. So I can put it inside, and what I do is just pop it in. Just get it. There we go. I need to get this pulled across. Hang on. This has been a bit awkward. You need two pairs of hands for this, I'm afraid. You can't do it with one. So there you go. I push this back, get this into the cone and lift it up. Then can bring this one across, put the and there it is. There we go. And I can put that and the washer on there, and I'll show you the other end. So that's basically it in. All I've got to do now, I've got the rubber on here, all I've got to do is lift this up and put the second piece in. Okay, you can see now I've just got it up in position. I've put the back washer in, and there's a groove inside it, and that's to allow the grease to go around that. So then we can bring in this piece, which is it's to line it up. And then we can put this one on, and then I need the two. I'll just leave that like that, and then I need the two bolts now and I'll put them in now, and I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see that flat spot there, and then the heavy piece on the side. So basically all I've got to do now is just tighten it and pull it into place, and because it'll guide it in there, you could see it going further and further in until it locks. So can you see it there? There we go. I think you can see that coming across. And what will happen is it'll come in till it's kind of half and half. Let's see it there. There we go. That's tightening up now. There we go. You can see it's almost nearly flush. So that's locked into there now. And there's the bottom arm. So now I can set it up to put in the front tie rod. I'll show you that. So these are the tie rods, but these are the adjustable tie rods. You can see there's a thread on there and then a locking nut. So you should always put the soft rubber on the inside of the subframe here, the black one, or the soft one, and then the poly on the outside, because that's where all the strain is on it. And then you have this dishwasher here, which then goes on, and then the flat washer, and then your nut. There we go, and they should be nylocks, which they are. So what I'll do is I'll just set this up, I'll tighten this up onto here, and then I can adjust, well, I won't tighten it right up, but I can get it so I can adjust it, or I can just take this bolt out the end here. And that's really all there is to it, but you can see how that should go right into that cup there. Sorry, you can see it. I'm going to use this. It should go right into that cup there, and this should be actually just about in line, that thread bar, by the time that's tightened. And then you can adjust it, and that will obviously adjust the geometry, steering geometry as well. So that's it. So that's the top in, the bottom in, and here the top bump stop. You can see here, this one here that I've put in. All I did was tighten it up enough so I could push that in, and just that screw just holds it in place. But all the weight sits on that that bump stop there, the lower bump stop, and this is the top bump stop, obviously. And there we are. So that's it together. So I've just got to tighten everything up, and then I'll grease it up. And then I can let the pressure off this one, which I'll show you. So I've got everything in place now. What I can do now is just back this off. This will allow the cone just double make sure that everything's in place here, which it is. There we go. So now that's backed off. Should just be able to turn this out. I don't even need that. Just turn this. There you go. Done. And that's all it is. So the total rod length, have I got my tape measure here? Probably not. Yeah, that's it. So the total rod length is And so this is 14, this is a 14 mil, sorry, an M14 bar, and that is 38 centimeters. So it's 38 centimeters, an M14 bar, and clearly you can get away with 2 nuts and a washer. So one there to tighten it against to compress it, and you could just use one and just weld the top, or done like I've done and put 2 nuts on it and just lock them together, whichever way. Very basic tool, but you can make that for about €5 or €6.